Compton City, where the made in Compton store serves the world. Welcome to the city where the champs are born, where the streets breathe strength and the legends are sworn. Venus and Serena hit the court with the silver, gold, and bronze. Taught the world how to serve where the champions desire. Future presidents walk these blocks, visionaries with dreams bigger than the city blocks. From the pen to the mic to the boardroom door, Compton raised leaders in the world once more. It's the Made in Compton store, where culture and hustle meet at the core. Print, radio, visuals, we done rolling the one in the city of the sun. From Dre's beats to K-Dot's charisma, we thrive off struggle, not chasing fame. Entrepreneurs, actors, the real deal crew. If you made it from here, the world saluting you. Intervention ain't foreign, it's born in the CPT. From garage studios to boardrooms on repeat. Ideas championed with innovation, turn pain into purpose and challenges into victories. We storytelling designs with service and edified. Every garment speaks truth, it's a cultural guide. Legacy emits in every shelf and floor. You don't just shop, you witness love.
Compton ain't just a place, it's the proof that out the concrete grows an unstoppable truth. From curb to Congress, from grind to grace, we export courage no matter the race. Yeah, it's the Made in Compton store.
More than merch, it's memories in motion. Adore support from wisdom.
It's a great deal, guys. And you get more stuff.
Every clothing and accessory, so when you walk in, stand tall, feel love. You're stepping in a city that birthed the next frontier. So here's the Compton, no cap, no pity. It's the heart, the soul, the renaissance.
Made in Compton in California. Yeah, get your baby one of these because we have lots of them. Lots of them and different colors.
All right, welcome back. This is the weekly ecosystem recap, and today we're recapping the Legends Are Made in Compton auditions, the Micpt story to stage experience, purposeful content creation, Compton in a box, the Micpt media hub, and opportunities for students, parents, authors, artists, performers, and entrepreneurs. And we did not select one winner at the auditions this week, but that was due to the fact that we were looking for another sponsor, and at the same time frame, it was just another. They were just here to not really do the audition; they just wanted to come and practice. So we said, okay. So if there's anybody that's out there that wants to be a sponsor for the Legends Are Made in Compton auditions on Saturdays, it's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. By all means, of course, then it will be advertised and continue to be advertised, because it'll be a follow-up video about what was received for the winner of the auditions and based on the wheel of names that we use. So this week we use a wheel of adjectives, and it spoke to many characteristics, adjectives that people go through to practice, or shall we say get on stage if it's their first time, and whether it's sharing comedy, a story, motivation, inspiration, or just wanting to share to impact the world, and more. So that is the one and only Step Up Stage purpose at the Made in Compton store site, the media hub right there. And so just know that, yeah, there's plenty of clothing, of course, iconic Compton souvenirs. And we are going to share more information right after this commercial break. But just please note, if this is your first time tuning in, the Made in Compton store is located at 906 South Willowbrook Avenue, Unit B, Compton, California, and you may shop online anytime at micpt.com. And please subscribe on YouTube if you're listening on from another platform. It's Micpt Channel 12 Compton, and that way you can see more things, the dashboard, as well as the blogs. There are blogs posted on the underneath the tab that says posts. All right. With that in mind, we will be right back.
Hey, it's Teddy G, your friendly neighborhood bear from the Made in Compton store, here to spread love and good vibes.
Absolutely, one and only Teddy G. And thank you to everyone that has supported the Teddy G campaign. And there's a plethora of people that are looking forward to sharing in on the Teddy G campaign toward the fall season as well. And so please know that, yeah, there's returning philanthropists that contribute to the Teddy G campaign. And definitely want to give you a round of applause. Commendable. And thank you for everybody that's sharing. We're simply sharing the fact that we have a Teddy G campaign. So, yes, indeed, definitely want to give you a round of applause too. Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so very much. So I'm going to take you to a grandiose type of story just to make a connection here. And then I'll go throughout the week with a few details. So a quick recap. So let's say inside the Made in Compton store, there was a microphone waiting. It was waiting for the student who had a school presentation, but was afraid to speak in front of the class. It was waiting for the author whose book had been written, but whose story had never been read aloud. It was waiting for the artist who had talent, but had never stepped onto a stage. And it was waiting for the entrepreneur with a powerful idea, but no advertisement, podcast, or presentation to introduce it to the world. One by one, they entered the Micpt Media Hub. The student practiced reading. The author transformed a chapter into a conversation. The artist stood beneath the lights. The entrepreneur looked into the camera and finally explained the vision. Nobody had to be perfect. They simply had to begin. That is what it means when we say Made in Compton Store is more than a store. It is a place where culture can be worn, stories can be heard, talent can be discovered, and unfinished ideas can become something real. So just know that Bone with Friends, I mean, it is a podcast that airs tonight at 9 o'clock, and we will be on time next. Well, actually, it may be a pre-recording next time for the Made in Compton Weekly Recap. It's still a little later that the sun goes down, and more people are still scurrying around and getting ready for the holidays, I think, too, though. But it is definitely nice and warm and cooler in the evenings. So yeah, that's just me. But 7 o'clock seems to be ideal for the fall as well for this podcast, a recap. And that's something to do, is to pre-record. So just to know that this is live and this is a think aloud, just like this story here is just to encapsulate people and welcoming people to the recap of what we have today. So yes, we have the Micpt Media Hub. Whereas if there is an author or artist, note that the recording, the green studio, the step up stage, and the podcast area is like a one-stop shop. So I want to commend people that came through this week that take a look at the podcast area as they contemplate whether or not they want to do their podcast, record their podcast there. It was extraordinary yesterday on Saturday for the Legends Are Made in Compton auditions from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. You have to see the video on Instagram, and I made it where people can easily find it. There's an embrace, there's hugging, and you will see the red brick wall in the background. Absolutely. So it's the Instagram because it says Compton Club in the background. So I look forward to putting that on YouTube soon, but just knowing that's where it is presently. And we did learn that we do have a few apparatus where you can put your phone if you want to record yourself on stage. you can put your phone on an adapter or apparatus and let it film your section. Otherwise, there's a long video for me to download and then upload to YouTube. So it almost have to take time to make it into parts. So that's what we learned as a recap for his business. Going backwards as well, because Saturday nights we do the Micpt.com podcast where we talk about business. And so we talk about things that we plan to, improve, the things that we did differently, of course, things that we made new, and of course, any type of announcement. If somebody gave us an announcement, that's how that transcends. But just knowing that also we have the one and only Micpt.com podcast that features artists, authors, and we just talked a lot about it's pretty much like the run of the business, and it's just a reminder, it's more than a store, and the campaigns and services are there to continue to assist people to do well and edify people that may not otherwise get edified elsewhere, and weekly. So please know that platform is for you at the Micpt Media Hub, and it's an open-ended business meeting on the podcast that takes place on the evenings at 9 o'clock on Saturdays. So you can actually prepare to type something in the comment area. Make note of that. I do want to share that also we receive Instagram direct messages of people who may not have had time to take a picture because we have the LA Hood Life tours that comes to the store, and sometimes it's so busy, and sometimes more than one tour. And I ask people to leave their picture, to DM their picture or send a text to Bones telephone number that's on the business card and on the website. And then that way I can create a video to post on Instagram that we share to Facebook, YouTube. And just to note that we're just really hoping to see more people share any ideas or suggestions that you may have. And that's what that Micpt.com podcast is for on Saturdays. And backing up, on Friday, we shared some videos from 2023 because it's called Flashback Fridays. This is your first time tuning in. Thank you once again. But just know that, yes, we learn from what we've seen in back in the day. Because, I mean, there's so many different designs inside the Made in Compton store that it's like, oh, wow, remember those. Okay, we'll get more of those. So, and just to think, Bone has been in business for like 14 years. So there's been so many different t-shirts, designs that have been made. So it's really neat to go back into those videos from before. So that's what the Flashback Friday was about this Friday, and the revelation that we had, like, oh, okay, wow. And specifically, we do know that we're going to have the oatmeal hoodies. We know that there's some, we see the joggers in the video, but yes, there are some oatmeal joggers presently in the store, but we need to get some oatmeal hoodies as well. Okay, going backwards. On Thursdays, the Quiet Hug, and that's a podcast that helps people to relax, and the purpose is to help people to relax and give themselves a pat on the back sometimes, because it's such a time that we are in this world right now, that everything seems to move fast, and there's so many different things to learn, and it's exciting. And sometimes it's just like, oh my goodness, it's like the valleys and the mountaintops, the valleys and the mountaintops. And so when do you ever just say, let me pause for the cause? So we read different stories to, as suggestions, like maybe this is how something can pan out, and something that is hopefully is soothing to the mind as well. That's our purpose. And we featured a made in Compton robe that is very voluptuous and soft and engaging to the mind as a form of relaxation. So that's what Thursday was about. And particularly on Wednesday is focused on entrepreneurship and always engaging in helping with resources. So that is the one and only the Game Ain't Safe podcast. And of course, please note that all the podcasts actually have a box that was also shared, I believe, on Saturday. But just doing a quick recap, note that every podcast has a box. If you're intrigued about more information about the Game Ain't Safe, there's a book actually in the store called The Game Ain't Safe book. And there's actually two CDs. One was already some of the songs were made already before the book was written, but just knowing that podcast also has a ready-made box, and there's a catalog inside the Made in Compton store. Just ask for the catalog of boxes for the podcast, and they actually have discounts. Okay, so that's something to think about. And then going backwards to the one and only Tuesday, which is Tipsy Tuesday. And Tipsy Tuesday features liquor and intermittently smoothies. So it's that time to share in the good spirits, and some people do, some people don't. But there are so many drink accessories, and that's our purpose for having the Tipsy Tuesday. And just to note that, yes, we have tumblers, we have the coffee mugs, and there's a just a gambit of different size glasses. So if you're somebody that is listening and may be traveling, we will wrap them for you as well. And we wrap them for every guest. And some guests say, I'm just about to take this and put this in my purse or my bag, or they're going to roll it into their beanie. But just know that, yes, we do wrap the glasses at the Made in Compton store. Okay. And definitely extra for people who are traveling abroad. And backing up to Monday, a quick recap. Know that it's Between the Tracks, and it's hosted by the one and only Bone, aka Mako Capone, who is the owner of the Factor House Records. And just really quick, if you don't know, yes, that's how the Made in Compton store started. He's a rapper, and he was making CDs and selling them just as Master P was selling them out of the trunk of his car. And then there were people saying, you got to get merch. You got to get your t-shirts and, hoodies, hats, and so those type of things. And he bought a machine so he could learn how to make the t-shirts, because he had so many people that he wanted to produce, and just seemed like that they were going to need lots of t-shirts. So he bought the machines, learned how to create the t-shirts, and then him and his friends simultaneously learn to design shirts. And have shout out to Mr. Big Dutch, who's a graphic designer, and they just went to work with those. And then it was his mother that said, every time somebody call you, you think you should be delivering your CDs and t-shirts? Why don't you just get a store so more people can come to you? And because you may have more people that want things, and you're traveling all over the place. So it made sense. And so now he has a store for just about 14 years. And that's what it is. And so just knowing the Micpt Media Hub is right in the same store, it just had more like boxes of shot glasses, coffee mugs, and it's just like it was almost like a storage. So it's the same place, it's the same address as well. So from the flyer that you're looking at, Micpt Media Hub is in the same location. And I was like, wow, how neat is that? So just to note that Between the Tracks talks about the backstories from different songs, and Bone shares experiences, being in studios with a lot of names that people do know, and then some people that they may not know, but He's sharing the podcast on Sundays, making sure that people have an opportunity to also share what they would like to share about their experiences. So it's a lot of artists that he worked with back in the day to create the CDs. And just know that he have this one, this two that was released last summer. So it complements the book, The Gaming Safe, and the podcast that now airs on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on YouTube, MICPT Channel 12 content. And this going back a little bit, which is that's the connection. Sundays, where we are now, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the one and only Bone with Friends podcast. And it's really neat that he gets a chance to share with people that sometimes they're not childhood friends or alumni of Compton High, his alma mater, or, you know, somebody that he's just known a long time, maybe junior high, high school, but there are customers that came into the store and just like, I've been watching your podcast, you know, I like to get on the podcast. And then there's other people that we just ask, you know, do you do podcasts? Have you been on a podcast? Would you like to be on the podcast? Because they have such rich conversation and a lot to share. So just knowing that sometimes is busy in the store, and then we don't always get a chance to ask everybody would they like to be a guest on a podcast, because we podcast every evening, or there's a podcast every evening at 9 o'clock. Please share as well that we are looking forward to having more guests on the podcast, and that's where it's at. And other than that, there's more podcasts that have been uploaded. So just please tune into the dashboard, get notified, subscribe, ring the bell, and know that we have more good information coming your way. And with that in mind, we'll go to a quick commercial. And if there's something else on my agenda, I'm going to check that list and come right back with more, shall we say, fun recap. All right. And here we are with a quick commercial. Yes, yes. Thank you so very much for joining this week's More Than a Store recap of the ecosystem for the Made in Compton store. And do know that if you like to have a podcast, know that it's only $300 for 4 hours. If you have any questions about being an author or having book placement, please call the store, and we're open every day. All right. So with that in mind, until next time, stay tuned, because we have like a few shows on Sundays. Absolutely back to back. Until next time, everybody, have a great, great time.